What? Y'all think smoking kills? Really? Well, what if I told you that obesity has overtaken smoking as the leading cause of preventable deaths in the United States? What if I open a Twinkie and start eating it? No one would stop me. According to Men's Health, in 2016, obesity caused 47% more life years lost than tobacco. How did we get to this point? Well, let me start by telling you how I got to this point. One day I was talking to two geniuses. No, really, two geniuses. One's 11 years old and the other's 14 years old. They're my uncle's boys. They both currently attend TCU. These guys come over for the holidays and they sort of bring a regimented lifestyle along with them. From being homeschooled to wearing white t-shirts and jeans almost every day to never eating any sweets. The part that baffles me the most is that they never eat any sweets. So I sit and I talked to them one day and said, what's your deal with sugar? They said, well, sugar, we consider it a drug and it's really bad for your health. Really? Tell me more. What about other things that people eat on a regular? Like, what about McDonald's? All kids love McDonald's. Yeah, we like McDonald's, but we don't prefer to eat McDonald's, especially the chicken McNuggets. Wait a minute, the chicken McNuggets? They say, yeah, they're made of chicken paste. I said, you know what? End of conversation. Not gonna let you ruin this for me. I couldn't help but later that night when I came home to research this myself. So I go and start researching, and what I find is that chicken McNuggets are made from pure white meat, but they're also mixed with chicken skin and chicken fat. It's all grind together and turned into a paste. It's squeezed into a sort of a cookie cutter. It's battered, cooked, and it's served to millions of people all over the world. So what am I getting at? I want to talk to you about processed foods and how it affects your overall health. What is processed foods? Processed foods are any food that is deliberately altered before you consume it. I give you the examples. Processed food is any food that is canned or frozen, such as fruits and vegetables. There are foods that are packaged and labeled with labels such as natural or organic. Foods like cereal, fresh meats, poultry, jarred baby foods. Foods that have nutritious and health claims such as reduced heart disease, low in fat, high in calcium. Foods that say fortified with fiber, vitamin D, omega-3 acids. And let's not forget about quick service foods and fine dine restaurants such as cafeterias, food courts, sports arenas, coffee shops, and a whole lot others. Okay, what are some of the risk factors for consuming these foods? Obesity, high blood pressure, stroke, heart disease, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, and even certain types of cancers. Now I know you're thinking, wait a minute, everything you just mentioned on this side of the board is not bad. And that's not what I want you to think, is that it's all bad. What I'm talking about is those processed foods that are bad for you. Those are that are heavy laden with salt, sugars, and fats. Stuff such as deli meats, cheese crackers, frozen pizzas, frozen lasagnas, things like that. These things are things that you probably should stay away from when you think of processed foods. Why? Processed foods affect your digestive health. Let's use grains for instance. Most of us eat oatmeal and we're taught that oatmeal is healthy. Oatmeal is healthy, but the problem with oatmeal is that most times we're eating the refined oatmeal. Refined oatmeal is when the germ and the bran has been removed from the oatmeal, and the only things left is the endosperm. The bran and the germ is where the fiber lies. Fiber is good for your digestive health. So when they remove that, they process it and it makes it less healthy for your digestive tract. All right, the other thing that I want to talk about is sodium overload. Sodium is salt. Now, when you think of salt, we think of table salt. the salt that we use to add taste to our meals every day, most times. Now we're always cautious about how much salt that we add, how much salt we add to our meals, but we're not thinking about the sauce that's already been added to our processed foods. So a lot of times the overload of sodium can lead to high blood pressure and again can lead to stroke. Okay, so how does this all affect me and it can affect you? Well, for me personally, it affects my family because my family struggles from obesity. So anything that we can do to alter that trend is always helpful. My mother suffers from diabetes and diabetes that's caused by obesity. Believe it or not, according to my BMI, I'm actually obese. So my risk factors are low, but they're prevalent. They're present. I have to think about these things. Um, let's see. As a healthcare professional, I have to see these things also in the hospital. Uh, People who have high blood pressure, they have strokes. Uh, these people have to have procedures done on them. A lot of times you can't turn a stroke around. So these things, in conclusion, too much processed foods can lead to a lot of risk factors. Again, such as obesity, blood pressures, and even certain types of cancer. So I want to leave you with this. I've always been told you are what you eat. So I want you all to leave here thinking about the next meal that you prepare, the next meal that you consume. What goes into it? What's going into you? How's it going to affect you? Is it bad for me or is it okay? Am I getting the best or am I not getting the best? So I want you to give greater thought to the foods that you consume and remember, never ever smoke.